Welcome to one of the many circle sessions hosted by Wonder Girls. Wonder Girls is a nationwide classrooms movement. We bring relatable female role models into classroom settings through our circle sessions. As you will see, the crux of these sessions is its dialogic nature. We're currently working with classrooms across 7 Indian cities and continuing to grow. Our aim is for every adolescent in India to have access to relatable female role models. I welcome you once again and hope you enjoy learning from our role models' life journey and career path.
Thank you, ma'am, for joining with us today. And it's indeed our honor and pleasure to have you with us. And when I was a child, like these are students, I never get a chance to interact with any celebrity or actor. So I'm very lucky today that I'm able to interact with you. And I feel like my childhood dream is coming true. So thank you so much for this. I really appreciate all the efforts, sacrifices which you have made for us for this meeting. And now we also have with us a very dynamic and progressive school leader, Ms. Sunita ma'am. So I would request Sunita ma'am to welcome our chief guest. Thank you.
Thank you, Amzad. A very good afternoon to one and all. A very warm welcome to the another session of Wonder Girl Circle. We are delighted to have Ms. Guneet Wahan on board with us today. Karthik Napit, one of our student will leader, take over now. Karthik, please.
Thank you, ma'am, for taking my name. We, the students of St. Albert's, feel blessed to get an opportunity. I find immense pleasure in introducing our guest for today, Guneet Wahan. Miss Guneet started acting in 2018. Her first audition being a mere coincidence, but she has not stopped since then. Her first project was Sacred Games, after which she recently shot for cancelled a web series on the capture. Along the way, she shot a lot of short films and advertisement with a lot of celebrities. Her personal favorite was the one with character legend from Mr. Rahul Dravid, with wanting to solely work towards doing content that impacts people, because that's how films have impacted her all her life. Which we strongly agree to. Ma'am, the presence of a personality such as yours is a blessing to us. I hope my friends are able to seek a little guidance and imbibe as much as they can from your thoughts. I'd request ma'am to enlighten us with her precious words as we begin.
Okay, thank you so much, first of all, for reading it out. And I'm so glad to be talking to everybody here, especially students. I love talking to students, and thank you for the big introduction. I'm also glad and happy to be talking to everybody here. Yeah, and I hope we have a great session. And great questions, guys. I read them. Really good questions.
Thank you, ma'am. Now let's have a sneak peek into the glamorous world and get to know the back-end efforts and life of an actor. Let's get started.
Thank you, Karthik. It was a great effort being a first timer in speaking. I really appreciate to take over. Okay, let's have the first question. Ma'am, could we start?
Yes, Sakshi. Guneet, ma'am.
Can we have your question first?
Can you repeat the name, Sakshi?
Is why did you choose acting as a career?
Is it ma'am? Rashikar, can you repeat your question?
I think ma'am isn't there in the call right now. Guys, please say ma'am no. सीधा नाम मत लो. सीधा गुनीत मैम बोलो.
Okay, Rashikar. Sakshi, who's next?
Ma'am, it's I'll just read out the order. It's Rajshekhar, Arun, Vedika, Bhavani, Mohit, Rohini, Bhavna, Pravalika, Rumana, Vaishnavi, Vishal, Karthik, Mahadev, Shivshankar, Nikita, Abhishek. Rohan.
Is he there?
Okay, I think she's trying to connect again.
Rashikar, repeat your question properly. When ma'am comes back, repeat your question properly. Is she trying to connect, Sakshi?
I didn't receive anything as of now. Message भी नहीं है. Yeah. We welcome you back, ma'am. Sorry for
Hi,
the
I'm
disturbance.
really sorry there was network issue. I think from my side only.
So, ma'am, do we start the session?
Yes, for sure.
Okay, Rajshekar, can we have your question?
Thank you, Didi. Good afternoon, ma'am. My question to you is, why did you choose acting as a career?
Okay. So, like I said, I've had a huge impact from films and web series all my life. So, yeah, that's one of the reasons. And also, it happened very coincidentally. My school was, they actually got uh, me sort of in front of the camera a lot when I was a kid because they got a collaboration with Sahara One, and that gave me the confidence to sort of take it up as a career. But acting is one part of my life. And yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. So, would you say that since you had an opportunity at school, you took acting as your career? So, the kids who don't have that opportunity, what do you suggest for them to do? How do they come into acting as a field?
Okay. So my school gave me a lot of practice to be in front of the camera and how to talk. So it gave me that confidence. Didn't really teach acting, but yeah, the confidence was a big game changer in how I audition today. For students who don't have the access, I think now there are casting agencies on Instagram. So if you just type casting in the search box, you could reach a lot of casting directors. You could send them your details and audition with them. Then I would say just pick an art form and practice that and practice a few scenes. It'll help you. Yeah, but
Thank
do
you.
follow casting directors on Instagram.
Thank you for the advice, ma'am. So, Abhishek, would you want to ask your question next?
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
What advice you have for students who want to become an actor like you?
What qualifications?
What advice you have for students who want to become an actor like you?
Okay. And advice is don't let the kid inside yourself die because that happens. This industry really makes you feel very self-centered and important. and it can get to your head. So yeah, don't let the kid in yourself die. Always be nice to people. Yeah, and keep your individuality there. Like, just don't let people influence you. If you have goals, go ahead and achieve them. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, ma'am. Arun, can we have your question next?
Sakshi, can we adjust the ma'am's screen, please? Guneet ma'am's-
Is there something wrong with the screen?
yeah.
We have the screen rotated, ma'am.
Okay, one sec. Hi, is it better now?
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Arun, can you please ask your question now? Arun, are you there? Okay, ma'am. So Arun's question was, if not an actor, what would you be?
If not an actor, I wanted to be a journalist, but then seeing how the Indian media is, I would probably work with my mom. She's a home chef, and yeah, I'd probably work with her.
Okay, on this note, we have Varsha who has just entered. Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
Okay.
Varsha. Is
Okay.
it-
Vedika, can you ask your question next?
Thank you, Didi. Good evening, ma'am. So my question to you is, how did you start your career as an actress?
Okay. So one of my friends, he said that he was going and auditioning, and I told him, why don't you give me also a few contacts, and I will go and audition, and let's just see where this goes. Because yeah, I always had this kida in me for just going and performing in front of the camera. So yeah, my 10th audition, I got an ad, and after that, I kept getting ads. Then I kept getting short films. Then I started auditioning for web series. So yeah, that's how it started.
Oh, that definitely needs a lot of courage to do that. And yes, Mohit, can we have your question now?
Thank you, Didi. So, good afternoon. My name is Mohit. So, my question is, what fascinates you the most about acting?
So every character you do a sort of background check on them and you write a story for them, right? So there are certain nuances or just a certain way a character thinks. And I think that the character leaving you with certain new things, I think that is very fascinating, and I love that. You know, sometimes you take life decisions on, okay, what would, you know, probably Priya think? You know, what would Mehnaz think? So that's very exciting. You get to learn so much more about people and you observe people. And yeah, I think it makes you a kinder person also. At least for me, and a lot of other friends of mine have also agreed on this. I think it makes you think about the other person before you think about yourself. So yeah, these few things really fascinate me.
Thank you, ma'am. Rohini, can you come up with your question now?
Thank you, Didi. Good afternoon, ma'am. My question to you is that who is your role model in this industry?
I wouldn't say I have a role model because everybody's journey here is so different. You know, some people start with a lot on their plate and some people start with nothing. So I think I don't really have a role model, but there are a few actresses in the Indian film industry that I like. One is Mrinal Thakur, then Priyanka Chopra. Um, Yeah, and yeah, that's about it. These two I really like.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Bhavna, can you please ask your question?
Thank you, Didi. Good evening, ma'am. What is your dream role?
Mm, one would be something that really impacts people and, it's sort of a motivating kind of a role. So yeah, one is that. And I think it'd be really cool to have an Indian League of Superheroes. So yeah, but like really cool ones, not nothing trashy. So yeah, maybe a part of something like that, something that's cool and fun, but it's also very trendy. Yeah,
We hope we get to see you in that role, ma'am.
yeah, me too.
Okay, Pravalika, your question, please.
Thank you, Didi. Good evening, ma'am. What is your biggest fear as an actor?
The biggest fear is to not be able to connect with myself as a child. Yeah, like having the kid in me alive all the time. It's difficult to be like that as you're growing old. You're supposed to be more mature. So that is one thing. And yeah, not getting a call maybe for a project that maybe I wanted to audition for. Yeah, that.
Thank you, ma'am. Romana, do you want to ask your question next?
My question is that how do you handle criticism?
Okay,
I'm
I'll
sorry, you
repeat
were
it.
not very audible.
How do you handle criticism?
Okay. I foresee if this person is probably an actor about my work. As I would see if okay, if he's an actor or not an actor, and then realize where he's coming from. I would mostly take in a very positive way, like 80-90% of the times. But then you also meet people, who they just don't want you to grow and they just want to say things because they want to shut you up. So, but 80%, 90% of the times I really work on it and I really think about it. And I ask people constantly for feedback. In life, also, I think I'm like this only. Yeah.
So, ma'am, this is as an actor, but then what do you suggest the kids to do? How do they handle criticism? Because as kids, it is too much for them to handle because they don't understand, they don't
Yeah.
have proper guidance.
I think that, you should see if you have to work on it. Also, there's a basic instinct that you get. Sometimes you just know that, yeah, this is something I have to work on. And the other person says it. And you might feel bad, for a few seconds and a few minutes, but then you won't when you work on it. And then you'll move ahead from it because there will be new things that you'll have to work on. So yeah, as a child, I did that. There would be people that would try to pull me down, but then I would really try to focus on the positives and, keep myself centered and just go ahead. Yeah.
Just coming to criticism as a teacher, so when we give them an opinion or comment from our end, definitely it is a positive one. But then as a child, they take it as okay, ये ज़्यादा बोल रही है, ये क्यों बोल रही है, मुझे पता है, मैं बड़ा बच्चा हो गया हूँ. So what do you suggest? What should they do about it? Should they take it actually, और ये बोलते रहती है करके छोड़ देना चाहिए teachers को?
See, at the end of the day, you will always know if someone is being honest about a comment. So, when you know your teacher is motivating you and pushing you ahead, you should really take it. Because I have passed out of school. I know that you don't really meet people now anymore that motivate you. Teachers, like I haven't really mentioned this that much as I should, but teachers have been very impactful in my life. One of the reasons why I practice art so much is because the second school I shifted to, the teachers motivated everybody so much. And because I was so much into cultural activities, like every teacher would just, write my name in everything without even asking me. And that gave me so much more practice. That's how I got a show on Sahara One because a teacher pitched for me. So, yeah, if your teacher is motivating you, really take it because you won't get this motivation ahead that much in life. Your close friends also won't do it that much. And yeah, it's because people grow old with time and yeah, they don't really see why you should push somebody. So yeah, kids really take it in a positive way, let it impact your life. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. I hope Karthik, you're not scared and you don't blame me कि दीदी ने मुझे जबरदस्ती opportunity दिया. Thank you for taking it gracefully. So now, Vaishnavi, can we have your question?
Thank you, Didi. Good evening, ma'am. Being a female actor, what are the suggestions you had overcome in this?
What are the
Struggles, she meant to say struggles. We have overcome.
struggles?
Yeah.
Okay. As a female actor, I would say, nothing that is biased, but I would say struggles is one, though I stay quite far away from where the auditions happen. So that is quite irritating, the traveling part. Yeah, and the fact that, you have to network a lot before you really get some good work that you also want to do. A lot of work is commercial, that pays you very well. So yeah, it is difficult to keep the balance between, doing really good work and really commercial work that pays you very, very well. In terms of female, also, I think I've been the female part of the question. I've been very fortunate enough to go through the whole audition process, casting in a very organized, systematic way. That is on texts and on calls in a very formal mail type of way. Um, so yeah, I've been very smart also, I think, about it because I did background checks if I was going and meeting a casting agency or an assistant auditioning. So yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sakshi, just one question. So, how are you in academics studies? Because sometimes kids think that if I'm good at sport or in acting, then there is no need of working very hard in academics. So, I just want to know a little bit, how are you in academics and how did you manage both the things?
Okay. I wasn't very like great, but I would say I was an average student, but I was always very like, I would read a lot of books and I would read about certain topics on the internet if I really liked it in the book. So I was very, I think, curious also as a child. Um, yeah, I think education for anybody, not just an actor, is very important because it makes you confident about yourself. Then you can go out and sort of present yourself, and because you know things and you can talk about them. So yeah, I think education is very important for everybody in whatever field they are in. And yeah, I think it helps you make a timetable for yourself to be determined and to be motivated to complete whatever you have to. So yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, just something that I wanted to share. The moment they got to know that they have an actress coming, all of them were very excited. Finally, we get to see a person who we have always seen on screen talking to us. So that excitement was way too high. And right now that you see the calm and composed kids, they're actually not like that. Now they had this question ki, okay, I just asked the child to ask himself. Vishal, can you ask your question? Vishal, are you there?
Good evening. Thank you, Didi. Good evening, ma'am. How are child actors treated on the sets? How are child actors treated on the sets?
Okay. I think child actors have a lot of fun on sets. They get like everything that they want. Yeah, I've seen child actors having more fun than me on sets for sure. I think they don't have fun in auditions. Their moms are just like, hey, you have to read this line. Come on, you have to give audition. Yeah, and I most of the times I've never seen someone misbehaving with a child. I think the child is always misbehaving with, the group. They're fun to work with. They're smart.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, the next question is from Karthik. Karthik, can you ask your question?
Thank you, Sakshi Didi. Good afternoon, Guneet ma'am. You might have had some
Performed on stage was in Ahmedabad with a crew of 150 people, and we rehearsed for the show. So very yeah, I think that was the most memorable moment. I was laughing and I was crying, and everybody was laughing and crying. Imagine you're on stage and 150 people are like laughing and crying. So that was quite memorable. A funny one, I I would say I have many. Um, but yeah, I think the first time I saw myself in the costume of this 9-year-old kid that I played, a 9-year-old kid on stage. It's called Chutki from Chota Bheem. So I did a play with Chota Bheem, and yeah, I think that was one of like the really funny moments that I've had. Yeah.
Ma'am, one more kid asked one question. How did you get role to play in Chota Bheem?
So I auditioned with a casting director called Tess Joseph, and she usually only does Hollywood projects. Like she recently casted for Extraction on Netflix, and yeah, so I really wanted to audition with her, and she just said that we're shortlisting you. I was a part of the shortlist, and then I got the part. So yeah, that's how it happened. It was my acting school. Like that place was my acting school. Everybody was there in theater from like 20-30 years in that. Everybody in every department. So I got to learn a lot.
So, ma'am, just one thing. We have seen a few videos on the internet wherein you were talking about how your school impacted you. They were actually pushing you to act, and then you were behind the camera as well. So, did that help you in any way to face the camera?
Yes, for sure. It instilled the confidence in me that I take to every audition today. So my school had this journalism course, and we had a studio in our school, which made it even more easier to to actually live in that environment. So yeah, we had proper classes, and I was one of the first few to like be a part of the course, and then they really liked me. Sahara One picked me, and I was doing shows for them. So yeah, it was really cool. I wasn't acting. I was talking about just general topics in the world at the moment, which would be interesting to kids. So yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Mahadev, can you ask your question?
Thank you, Didi. Good evening, ma'am. My question to you is, how was your school life?
So I changed 3 schools, and my first school, like all of them were really fun. They were very different, and I think I got a lot of sort of cultural activity, uh, like a lot of exploration to that segment. So I think that's why I chose acting as a career later on. So I'm glad for the kind of experiences I had. I got to go to NASA. I I got to go to the International Children's Film Festival of Performing Arts, and we would have children from like 40, 50 countries that would perform, and we won that twice. So yeah, I got a lot of experiences, and I'm very glad for that. Had a lot of fun, a lot of laughter, met a lot of fun people. Yeah,
Ma'am, just a question. Were you a front bencher or a back bencher?
it would depend on the class.
Okay. So
Yeah,
just another question. Which subject was your favorite one?
I loved French and I loved physics and love English. Yeah, these three. I can't choose. If I had to choose, actually French. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, you've also taught French, right? How was that experience of yours?
Yeah, so when I was starting out, I realized that I still need to earn a little money, so I would teach French to kids in my society, and I'd studied it also. I studied A2 from Alliance Française. So yeah, I was teaching and I was auditioning. Great experience. I said I in general I love talking to kids. So yeah, kids are fun, and I think they're really smart. They're really underrated. Yeah, we adults really try to underrate them, but they're really smart and instinctive, and you get to learn so much from them. So yeah, it was a great experience. Dealing with moms also was a great experience. Yeah.
It surely must have been. Okay, so Shiv Shankar, your question up.
Thank you, Didi. Good evening, ma'am. My question is, how important is education irrespective of the career choice one makes? What are the qualifications required become an actor to become an actor?
Okay. Like I said before, I think irrespective education is very important and should be personal to everyone because it instills confidence in you to be, to share your thoughts and know about things. Yeah, so that is one thing. And qualifications to be an actor, I don't think you need qualifications. You just need to um, sort of come there to learn and express yourself well. And yeah, don't let a lot of everyday life issues affect you. Yeah, I don't think an acting school can teach you acting because whatever you perform and show on screen is your personal journey and it's what you are adding to the character. So it should depend on your life observations and something from your life, something that's real, nothing fake. So yeah, I think acting workshops also teach that. I don't know if acting schools teach that, but yeah, at least in India. Yeah.
Nikita, can you ask your question next?
Thank you, Didi. Good evening, ma'am. So my question to you is, why is it important to follow our possession, passion? Why is it important to follow our passion?
Okay. So, this is something that, I was asking myself a few days back also. I was like, I need something outside acting. I can't just make acting my whole world. I need to, sort of have a real touch point to the real life also. So, yeah, I think having your passion really clears your head, before sleeping in the night or throughout the day if you're starting your day with it because as you grow old, so many responsibilities come in, and I don't think they teach you or even talk about this at your age. But yeah, it helps you to distract yourself and just make yourself free so that when you go back to your workplace or something you're studying for, you can learn and absorb more. So yeah, I think that's one of the main reasons why you should, and it keeps you happy. So anything that keeps you happy, that is your alone time, you should do it.
Thank you, ma'am. Varshini, can you ask your question?
Thank you, Didi. Good evening, ma'am. What, according to you, is your greatest ac- accomplishment as an actress?
Hmm. I think the fact that I got to do Chota Bheem because it was one of the biggest musicals in India and the first of its kind in the kind of show that it was. Hopefully, we will start again. That and yeah, the short film that I did that hasn't come out. But I'm just saying this because you asked me this question. Otherwise, on still a personal level, I don't think I have achieved that much to really answer that question well. But yeah.
Okay, Rohan, do we have you?
No, Sakshi.
Okay, I'll just ask Rohan's question. It was something that caught my mind too because a child asking that is a surprise. So, do you think big screen has lost its charm and the future is OTT?
Uh, so I think that the general audience, the ones that we all don't interact with a lot on a daily basis, like the rickshaw wala, the pan wala, the delivery guy. So I think those people are the main audience for watching films. And I think they will still watch it no matter what the content is. They really just go for the hero and the advertising that is sold to them. Maybe a lot of us, I do think that OTT is bringing a change and there will be a change, but it'll just take a lot of more time. Like it'll take like 4 5 years for it to really compete with um, Bollywood films and just how films release. But I think that the content on OTT and the kind of performances and the kind of acting was always there. And I'm glad now there's a platform and there's more work also for everybody. So yeah, I'm glad, and I think people and audiences are now not that forgiving. Before we would see a bad performance and we would just be like, okay, it's cool, like 6 years back. Now we see so many good performances. We're just like, we want good content only. We want that to influence and impact our lives, because films and movies do. I mean, the way we are advertised, the way we're sold to things, and sometimes just funny quirks that we have in ourselves, we may never realize, but we pick it up from things we see.
Okay, so one of my own experience, I have a nephew. So he was so impressed by Ishan Khattar in Dhadak. So he went to the terrace and he was like, मैं यहाँ से jump करूँ क्या? Because ईशान भैया ने movie में किया था. So I'm sure a lot of kids here might be equally like thrilled to see such things. And you had a character in Sacred Games. So what kind of a feeling did you have when you were shooting for it?
I think I
Okay.
lost you in the middle. What kind
Okay,
of
so
feeling did you have after shooting for this?
the Sacred Games, that was a different content and first of its kind. Like, I'm sure you must be thrilled. So, what was your experience for Sacred Game?
Okay. Yeah, it was a great experience. Actually, it was quite quick. I got locked in Feb, and then around June, till June, they forgot about me. Okay. And then suddenly, June, I get a call, and I was already rehearsing for Chota Bheem every day, 12 hours. And then they called and they were like, hey, we're doing this. Next week is the shoot. And then I shot it overnight, like 7 to 5 a.m. we shot. And yeah, it was weird in a way that I thought, the director will be telling me to do these things and like look exactly here and look that. But he didn't give me any direction. He just said, you go and you do the scene. And he just said, just look little right and look towards this light. That's all that he told me. He didn't tell me how to express myself or anything. And yeah, it was one of the most realistic experiences, because I never realized that the camera is around. I never saw the camera. So that was a very different process of shooting that I have not seen before. So it was amazing. And then I left from that set and I went to Chota Bheem, and yeah, the next, I think, 48 hours I not slept. But it was awesome. It was worth it.
Sakshi,
Okay, so
I,
yes.
I do have one follow-up question. Actually, जब आपने बोला मेरा भतीजा, he wanted to jump. So mostly what we do in India, कि we follow actors, actresses, our hairstyle. Like तेरे नाम के बाद जो craze आया, hairstyle का, and dressing sense and all the stuff. Even there were few, not few, actually lots of incident. What I believe is कि लड़की, if she refuses, then you throw tejab and all. So what happens? Yes, we say कि movies represent our society, कि जो society में होता है वो movies में दिखाते हैं. But what I feel कि वो इतना नहीं होता, पर when we saw it in movie, because audience is huge and large, तो वो बहुत ज़्यादा लोगों को influence करता है. So, ma'am, when you choose any role, do you think about this? Ki what kind of impact it's going to create on our society?
Yes, for sure. I do think about it. That's why I recently shot for Cancelled, because I loved the script and just how it related to a problem in a generation that no one is really doing something on. So yeah, I do think movies impact you a lot, but also we have to see it as a story and something we can, something good that we can take from. It doesn't have to be, that if someone is smoking or drinking, then you also have to do it. Because I think movies do influence, and I do try to choose as much, like 90-95%. In ads, I don't see. I just see, okay, fun things are happening. Like, let's go ahead and, have fun. But yeah, content wise, I do choose. And it also depends on how the story shapes up. So yeah.
Okay, so Bhavna, can you ask your question?
Thank you, Didi. How much is a good physique important to be an actress?
How?
Physical appearance, physique is important for an actress.
Okay. I think in today's time, it's more important to be fit, because then you can choose a variety of characters. Like you can also play an 18-year-old, but also a 26, because with and without makeup, you can do something there. So I think that is very important. If you're a model, I think you have to look good and you have to be the size that your agency requires you to be. Like you don't have a say in it. You can't even change your hair and stuff if you're a model, get a tattoo, things like that. You have to constantly talk to your agency. Yeah. But as an actor, I think in today's time it's more important to be fit. And above all, it's your work, what you do. For actors especially, because you see so many good performances and so many stories now. You don't really care if someone really good looking comes on screen and is performing bad. Then you just get irritated. I think that's what's happening now. It really irritates me when I see a bad performance. Yeah, it's your work that speaks at the end of the day.
I remember Nawazuddin Siddiqui. Appearance really doesn't matter if you are skilled and you know how to perform.
Yes.
Okay, Manvit, can you ask your question?
Thank you, Dr. Vivi. Good afternoon, ma'am. My question is to you. Did your parents support you in choosing in this field?
Yes, my mom and my sister have been very supporting, and so have my friends. My mom, she constantly tries to be involved in whatever I'm doing. She makes sure that I'm safe because there's just so much clatter about the industry outside. So yeah, I keep her updated about everything. I let her know things. When I'm at the shoot, I video call her. I've always wanted her also to come, but she's very busy with her work. Yeah, my parents have been very supportive. Even my sister, she helps me a lot in auditioning and shooting. Yeah.
Okay, Rohini, can you ask your question? Rohini, are you there?
Yes, sir. What would you like to remember about you?
Okay, so what would you be like to be remembered for?
I think I'd want to be remembered for just being able to impact in a certain way, a certain kind of thinking. Um, yeah, and something that you might have seen a work of mine and made you laugh or cry and really made a memory out of it. Yeah.
So since the starting of this session, you've been very specific about the content and the impact. So what is more important to you, the script or the people that you're working with, be it the director, the co-actors, the production house?
See, both are equally important because if the script is good and your team is not good and they are not able to handle it, well in terms of execution, then also you see so many good stories and they don't pan out right because editing was bad, some framing was bad, things like that. But I think first is the script and then is the director. Like, I don't mind working with a mean team that is probably angry all the time, but they know how to do their work and the script is great. I don't mind that because you don't have that many options also, unfortunately, but things are changing.
Okay, Nikita, can you ask your question?
Thank you, Vivi. Good evening, ma'am. If you had a magic wand, what show would you do next?
Oh, mismatch too. Yeah.
I'm sure you would play a you would do justice to your role there.
I would, but let's see.
So should we actually hope for you to come there? Are we expecting you there?
No, I don't think I don't think work has started on it. I just really said it. I mean, yeah, something that's realistic. Otherwise, I would have named some very big movie I would never be a part of. But yeah, I just said it like that. It's a good show.
Yes, it definitely is. And also, just one of the other questions, you've worked both in Sacred Games as well as Cancelled. So both are very different shows. So what was your experience in each one of them? And which one is more special?
Sacred Games is more special because, that was my first project. So first projects have a place in your heart. Yeah, and they're very different also. Cancelled was shot at home during the pandemic, and this was shot at a set, some place called Bhoot Bangla, 4 or 5 hours away from Mumbai. And it was a night shoot. So even a night shoot is really cool. Yeah, and Cancel was shot in the middle of a pandemic. My friends came over to shoot it. It was very different. We were sanitizing our hands all the time. Yeah, very different experiences, but both fun. But Sacred Games is more special.
Okay, now you have an experience of both pre-COVID era and now during the COVID. And Cancelled was with your friends.
No, Cancelled was, I had auditioned for Cancelled with this production called Boundless Media. It's new. And yeah, Rishabh was from Madhya Pradesh, and Chinmay was, I think, some part of Punjab is where he's staying. So all different parts of the country. And I had never spoken to these people. I'd spoken to the people on, like, my co-actors first time on the reading on Zoom.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Very different experience.
Yes, very different experience.
So, Bhavna, can you ask your question?
Thank you, Didi. How do you get selected for a role?
Okay. Okay, so if you've mailed your profiles to the casting direct, if they have a requirement that probably fits your look, if you look Punjabi or you look the certain age they're casting for, they will give you a call, and yeah, they'll give you the script. They'll ask you if you want to audition for it, if you find this exciting enough, and if you're good with it, you'd come and audition. But now, because there's a pandemic and we can't go, we're auditioning from home. That's why you see a lot of actors have ring lights now and a tripod. So yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Karthik, do you want to ask your question? Okay. Karthik, are you there? You're on mute. You'll have to unmute yourself.
So my question is, any new job interest apart from acting?
So I want to start business in something. I'm in my research process now. I think that in another 8 or 9 months I want to be starting something that's outside of acting. Yeah, and I've always wanted a life like this. Something. Uh, I can't be doing one thing. There has to be two. Yeah.
Okay, so you are a multitasker. So something that which the kids
Trying to
also
be.
do in class, they just act very well that they're listening to the teacher, but then they definitely aren't doing it. They're just having a conversation with their friends around. So anything that you want to tell them, you just focus on your education a little more now.
Yeah, I mean, see, I know it's really tough, especially, being on Zoom calls and talking to your teachers and listening like this. It's first of all, it's just so unnatural. So it is difficult. But at the end of the day, the way your teacher will teach you, you won't get that kind of an explanation, and the way it'll stay with you all your life. Like, I still remember the way my French teacher taught me. That's why I loved French so much. And now I even audition for some French parts where, like, some Indians come for a while, but it's a good part. But either way, the fact that she taught so well and I listened to her explanation, you know I maybe got to do a 1 day job in a French film. So yeah, you never know where you're going to carry these experiences. Pay attention to your study. This is the time, late you have all your life to do everything. And I know that I also got told the same thing. But now I realize why my parents said it, why my teacher said it, why my relatives said it. Um, yeah, so pay attention to your teacher. Listen to her kind of explanations, understand, be more curious, ask more questions. Yeah. And I
So
know
now,
it's really tough, so really, I kudos to you guys.
So now we should be expecting you in a lot of roles. Mismatch 2 is going to be like the top thing. A French teacher maybe someday. So let's just ask one last question. Nikita, do you want to ask it?
Thank you, Dee. So my last question to you is, or any particular thing you do which you feel is lucky for you?
Um, no, I don't believe in. Yeah, I do believe my lucky numbers are 7 and 9. Um, but in general, on a daily basis, I meditate. I think that the days I meditate, I'm happier. I don't think it's lucky. I just think it's a yeah, it's a natural process to sort of clean yourself and go and learn something more. I don't do anything lucky as such.
Just to add to Nikita's question, so most of the time in India we keep saying, even जब हम स्कूल में होते हैं, कि luck में होगा तो A grade मिल जाएगा, पास हो जाएंगे, and so how do you react to this set of mindset?
No, I think in studies you actually need to study. I mean, you're given a book and you're sent to a school because you don't know, right? So I think in studies you have to go and read the book. Um, you can be lucky in anything that can happen in the moment. Maybe an opportunity that you got, or say you were playing a football match and you got lucky that the other guy injured and you scored. So yeah, you can get lucky in those things, but hard work and determination to finish in terms of studies, I think, yeah, you can't do anything overnight. It is an everyday process. Even today, if I probably want to audition for something in mismatch, maybe I need to work more on myself so that they choose me as the right, active. That is my level, and I know, and I need to work towards it. It's not going to happen overnight.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So just one thing. Now you have the cancelled series. How excited are you for us to watch it? And when can we expect some content for the kids specifically? I'm sure now, since they have spoken to you, they would want to watch you on screen.
Um, so can you just like repeat your question again?
Okay,
I
I'm
kind of
sorry.
got drawn away.
No. I just wanted to ask two questions. First thing, how excited you are for the cancel series for us to watch? Like, definitely being an actor, you would want to reach out to as many people as possible. And also, when do we expect a content for kids specifically?
Okay. So hopefully Chota Bheem will start after the pandemic is over, which is another year. But hopefully that will start and hopefully I'll be a part of it. I am very excited for anybody to see Cancel because I think it's a different topic. It's a Gen Z related show, and we're talking about issues that we face, the generation that has seen the shift from phones to from paper to phones. Yeah, and we talk about bullying, we talk about mental health issues, we talk about society images and just images we have of ourselves and what our inside voice says. So I think these are topics that we are not even free to talk about, to our teachers and parents. And this is a real issue. Sometimes even our friends, we don't think that people take it seriously. So what do we do? What do we do in our alone time? And we're in the middle of a pandemic now. We can't even meet people and talk about it. It's already unnatural to do this over a phone. Yeah. So I'm very excited and hope you all give me feedback. Anything that we need to work on because it was shot at home. So there were some technical errors. But yeah, I think content wise, I think it's a great show. And hopefully we will have season 2 of that.
Yes, we're already waiting for it. So, do you think the kids can actually try out shooting something at their homes?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we did it in a very systemized uh, manner, and I never thought it could have been done like that because I'd shot a few before, but they were, in a lot of mess. But yes, you can shoot things from home. Anything in 4K resolution also shot at home. If it's a small camera, you can shoot it. Yeah, you can shoot content in a lot of people are doing it also already. So that's awesome.
Ma'am, if you can just guide them so that they just begin with it.
Most of
Okay, like
most of our students have the experience of shooting in TikTok, making TikTok videos.
okay,
Our students are very much interested in TikTok.
okay. So if you want to tell a story, I think YouTube is a great platform, even Instagram. All you need is like a ring light and a tripod. Get a nice script, get a nice characters. If you need more characters, have this meeting, talk about it, rehearse 2, 3 times. And yeah, I don't think rehearse too much. That affects your performance. But yeah, I think these key things, you can make a short film at home, even trial and error, or like just a small project to see how well you do it the first time. And if you are interested in this, this is what you probably would want in your life someday. Yeah.
I'm sure all the kids are super excited to shoot something and they'll surely tag you in it on Instagram now.
Yeah, do that, do that. I will reshare.
Oh, definitely one by the end of the day you'll have.
Okay.
Okay, Nikita, you just wanted to say something?
So with this, we come to an end of today's session. It was truly an inspirational one. In today's social media world, where success seems like a cakewalk, we got an insight of the struggles that come before it. Your presence and gentle words was a source of encouragement for all of us. Thank you, ma'am.
She's the one who is very much interested in doing acting, and I think with this platform she got her role model now. Still,
See.
following you.
Thank you so much for having me. It's always great to talk to students. I got better questions than I've done live sessions a few times. These were the best questions I've got till now, because I think students are more, interested also in knowing, so they actually go deep in asking real questions. Yeah, I think no journalist also asks such questions.
Oh God, thanks a lot. I'm sure.
No, really, I mean,
motivate them.
I mean, everyone has got a hint of how Indian media is. So yeah.
Okay, all of you, it was a compliment for you. You can thank her, no?
As all are on mute.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank
Guneet
you,
ma'am.
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome, guys.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. It was great to have you. Finally, we get to see the off-screen struggles and the effort of an on-screen actor. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for having me again. Yeah, I had a great time.